EU didn't play 8 straight years of Bow 1s for nothing. True. Super Yushi versus Gumi Yushi. True. If every tournament was best of 1, LEC would be the best region in the world. I slightly doubted them. Mad in laning phase versus Mad after laning phase are 2 different teams. How the fuck did CFO lose this? Starting with that early game was... Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Junjia literally solo through twice. He solo through twice. I just want to show you guys something actually, but right before we go and start reacting to Twitter and stuff, let me just go on like, let me just find something. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see if this is TVP. Hold on. I'm trying to check something really quick, guys. I want to show you guys something.
This is a funny thing that can happen.
That is TVP.
Then
but I think
Protoss
he's
can
rushing.
figure out pretty
Oh no, he's not
quickly
rushing.
What they're doing. Force flash to defend with carry start to be picked off here a little bit.
I think he loses.
Them down.
Oh no, he was the Protoss. Stuff. I'm gonna do my best to try to explain stuff. So this is Flash, bottom right. This is the greatest esports player of all time. Faker is probably number 2 now, and Faker is getting really close to challenging him. Any Korean esports player, including probably Faker himself, would acknowledge Flash as the greatest of all time. This is Starcraft 1, considered the hardest video game on the planet. Anyways, this is a match between 2 of the best players of all time. Flash versus Stork. What I want to draw your attention to is the minimap. Okay, so I'm gonna actually let me just rip a screenshot of this.
Factories, and this is tough.
Let me rip a screenshot of this. Let me open it up in Paint. All right. Okay, so this is a let me go top right. All right. So this is a minimap, all right? Now, what are we looking at here if you don't play the game? Maybe you watch like the Tyler 1 Grubby, the Warcraft 3 Invitational thingy. What exactly are we looking at? Well, these blue things, I don't have Epic Pen on this PC. These blue things, or I'll use white maybe? Yeah. These blue things right here, these are minerals. These are minerals and gas. So these are bases, okay? And there's more of them obviously on the map. There's the mains. They're the bases, okay? Now, what's happening here is you might notice that the Protoss player, or the yellow player, okay, he has 1, he has 2, okay, he has 3, and then he has 4 bases, right? Protoss player also has hidden invisible units, which are granting vision. He has an army in the middle of the map. And then the Protoss player is going to get more bases, right? So Protoss player is at 4 bases. Protoss player has the Terran player in this like turtle. The Terran player is just doing this. So if you were to do math on how much percentage of the map the Protoss player controls, obviously you would probably say something like Protoss controls 70% of the map. The Protoss player can take his armies and he can go literally wherever he wants. He can scout anything. He can go anywhere. He can do whatever he wants to do on the map. And that's totally fine because that's just a part of the game plan for the Terran player. Terran player doesn't care about how much percent of the map the Protoss owns. The Terran player also doesn't care about necessarily where the Protoss is. He just cares about where the Protoss isn't. And that's what I was referring to by Junjia at the Baron thing where he threw away. So you can just see here, Protoss player, he's going to grab another base. He's going to go up to 5. So he's going to go up to 5 bases, and he's going to control like 80% of the map. And he's going to have so many more resources, and he's going to have so much more. He's making sure the Terran player can't expand. He's making sure the Terran player can't do anything.
with another couple
So
speed
the Terran player, he's just scaling. That's all he's doing. He's getting upgrades.
And yeah,
He's fortifying a position, and he's just trying to make sure that the Protoss can't kill him right now.
Maybe trying to run by.
Now the Protoss player is expanding again to 2 more bases. Protoss player is going to go to 7 total bases, while the Terran player is still just at 3. And obviously, you can see from the minimap, bottom left, that the Protoss player has complete map control, right? So in League of Legends, this would be like river control, right? The Protoss player is controlling all of his own jungle. He's controlling mid lane. He's controlling top lane. He's controlling bot lane, and he's controlling river. The problem is that the Terran player is continuing to scale, and the Protoss player doesn't have a way to just crack it outright. So he's just trying to generate enormous economy. Now, the Terran player is going to slowly move forward, and he's going to try to secure a 4th base. And this is really big for Terran, if he can slowly secure a 4th base. Protoss player is going to try to launch an attack because he knows that if the Terran player gets to this 4th base, things become a lot more difficult, even though Protoss is on 7 bases. And that's because the Terran units require less economy than the Protoss units to be valuable. So if Protoss has $30,000 and Terran has $20,000, Terran is still favored in the later stages of the game. The same exact thing is present in League of Legends. We know this in League of Legends as relative scaling between champions, right? If one champion's at 3 items, they will kill other champions that might even be at 5 items because of like certain scaling stuff. And that's the way that obviously gold can work. Likewise, this is the same exact reason that some champions like Ivern are super broken. Not only does everything that they have cost less, their inherent base scaling is also superior to other champions. So that doesn't make sense. Why is there a champion that has things that cost less, and in addition to that, also outscales you naturally even without resources? That does not make any sense. So Protoss has all of this map control. And what ends up happening is the Protoss player essentially goes for like a Baron play. And the Baron play doesn't work. And so now the Terran player gets to move out. And even though the Protoss had all this map control, what does it really mean? What does the map control really mean? It doesn't matter if you have bot lane, you have top lane. It doesn't matter if you have vision of river, if none of it matters. Because that's not where the fight is going to take place. So it doesn't matter that you're controlling the blue side jungle. It doesn't matter that you're controlling the red side jungle. It doesn't matter about any of that because the fight's just going to take place at Baron. So likewise, Junjia trying to get vision near mid lane or behind blue buff, none of that matters because the vision is wholly irrelevant because it's not where the fight takes place. And at that point in the game, Koi couldn't do the Baron, nor could they push or break mid or bot lane, which means that even though Koi had 90% of the map, 80% of the map, it doesn't matter because the final fight or where the key fight will be, none of that vision is relevant. It doesn't affect anything that's going on inside of the game. So there was a Baron fight essentially in this game that just happened at the 4th Terran base. And then the Terran player moves out. And now, even though the Protoss has all these bases, they have all this vision, all this map control, it doesn't matter because the fight is happening here. And the Protoss player can't utilize any of the other stuff that's happening. So now, all that map control, all that vision, all that stuff that he had, it doesn't matter. Because as long as the key fight is won, Baron, nothing else matters in the game. And you can then, in one fell swoop, take everything else back because you won the key fight. Now, if you heard me talk about like freezing over the years, or you heard me talk about like other types of things like this, this was always something that obviously I talked about, right? Let me go find, because someone talked about this yesterday on Twitter. Someone linked this video with Mickey.
And this is game 2 of G2 versus
Okay.
Fnatic.
This was a long freeze talk, right?
Actually, I believe that's between the.
So this is where we're freezing, right? This is where Mickey X is in the call, and we're discussing freezing. This is BDD,
because if KT plays
right? This is BDD on Aurelia.
each minute. Jungle gap, top lane, 2
Okay.
level gap, Urgot.
Level
is doing
13.
down top,
13
Rise
on
versus-
Urgot versus 11 on Rise.
And BBQ.
I think this was
ahead of
Keen.
KT.
Was it Keen
They're
at the
ahead
time?
on
It might have been
but
Keen.
BBQ wants their item completions.
Now, look at what BDD is doing. Because look at what's happening in, look what, so let's see when the freeze actually totally starts.
Let me take a look. Those of you guys that have not watched this video,
Okay.
This is the freezing fundamentals video, where a few clips
sorry.
were hand selected, and then I went over more.
All right, so you see Urgot down in bottom.
The night of the release. This is KT Rolster versus BBQ. This takes place in early December 2018.
I don't know why it's lagging so much. You see Urgot, right? You see Zoe.
Actually, since this
So you see Zoe in top lane,
At the top, this is actually bugged because it's a.
and you see Urgot
it's a
down in
region.
bottom.
There's one mountain
We
down
have
right now for
EXP
them,
leads,
and you'll notice that BBQ
and
is
we have
actually
gold
ahead
leads.
Of KT Rolster.
Now,
On your screen, you see
KT
BDD.
Now, again, this is when KT is one of the top teams in LCK, and this is a Korean Challengers League team,
Actually,
okay,
I believe that's,
with 4 rookies.
So you're seeing Score, Smeb, and
Now, Aurelia goes top lane. What does BDD do?
BDD,
So we just froze on him. BDD insta-shoves the wave.
and
Okay, he
shoves
insta-shoves the wave.
into
Okay.
the Zoe.
And now
Now
top
the
wave
Zoe
is frozen
is
again.
happening on the mini
And look
map,
at Urgot. Look at Rise.
and
Rise
also
can't
see
walk up to the
Urgot at
wave.
Bottom against the Rise. This is
Aurelia comes
Rise
mid, shoves it,
OP,
shares the XP with Atrox.
or not Rise.
Urgot continuing to freeze.
And we're following what
Meanwhile,
BDD
in
is
top lane, Zoe continuing to freeze. Now,
you'll-
what
you'll
we
see
know
that
about
now
modern day League of
in
Legends,
mid lane.
what we know about modern day League,
try to group
right?
it.
Because this is a 6-year-old video. We know that they can't just push mid. We know that they just can't dive mid. We know that. We understand now we understand enough the way that collapses happen, the way that you can just wait for the wave, CS it in a certain way, etc. We know that they can't just get mid. We also know that they're forced to respond to minion waves, so we can time jungle captures and stuff because we see this in modern day League, right? It happens all the time because pro players evolved enough.
top, Varus
So
is
this
on
is a
turret.
6-year-old video, and this was the video where Perks said I was a retard. Yeah, this is where Perks said I was retarded. This was the exact video. This is where Mickey X joined the call.
They're trying to push.
They're shoving mid
but
lane. Okay, we're responding to it.
Rise can't be here, and even if he is here, the minion wave.
Rise finally dings 12, but Urgot's 14.
Kha'Zix is in the fog of war, and you don't know where Morgana.
We have
is.
level leads
Kha'Zix
everywhere.
changed
80
drop.
carry, support, jungle,
So,
2 levels in top,
Mid tier 1.
and we have theme counter.
Really late into the jungle. Rise 1. They are stirs.
So what was BDD supposed to do? They can't just do Baron.
Still dies.
It's 22 minutes. They can't just go to Baron and do Baron.
A
And even if they do that, we can just respond, obviously.
a lot that in the future.
So this is where G2 shoves a wave. So I think this was one of the big things. Now remember, Nemesis got flamed for this. This was like the 041
Are
Wonder shoving in.
through the reap, then they say up getting what they want. They end up to a opposite.
God, the YouTube's so laggy. Caps insta shoves.
And Wonder
Caps
is
takes the
bringing
wave.
him up in top,
And then he shoves the wave down and bottom.
and for some reason, Fnatic are fighting over luxury vision. That doesn't really matter.
Whippo ends up dying.
There's no reason to be here. It's 17 and a half minutes. What is 300?
Now, obviously,
gold
Whippo
for
should
this
not die.
position? Ultimately, what is 300 gold? Some more resources. You end up just placing them to end up killing. No idea what Hylissang's doing. And EQ.
Hylissang dies.
Cyrus, all in war of attritions.
Can't remember exactly. This part is so
One of
long.
the things that you'll notice right now is.
I don't know why this is most replayed.
Okay, effectively, what is the gold advantage? So even there, jungle item even, and pretty much
guys can hear, right?
in terms
Yeah.
of items. Even though we know that Yankos has more gold.
Anyways, this video is obviously up on YouTube. I'm going to check why this is most replayed.
Maybe he's over here or he's recalled.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about things that we now understand. Pro players would agree with.
Oh, you want-
Because we now understand. And we now understand because they've played the game so much in the last 6 years, and these situations have unfolded enough that they would agree that these sequences are real. But this is a 6-year-old video that I was flamed for and told I was wrong by everyone, even though it was demonstrable. And now, in a season where freezing is not as easy, because Riot implemented things to make it more difficult, and 2, 10-man practice tool
So
exists.
they could know that he's looking for, like,
You can't
one
even show it anymore. What a sad time. Anyways, let me see, how are we doing on time? We've still got quite a bit. All right. Okay, so all right. So that was mini talk on like freezing, vision, all that other good jazz. There's a lot of other things that just are not actively talked about. It just makes me sad. And obviously, I've said this many times, dealing with stuff like that, dealing with the vitriol that was thrown my way over the years, no one likes to be abused when they're just saying something that should be a conversation or like provable. And obviously it leads to burnout because you just don't want to keep saying the same stuff. So also I just eventually stopped talking about freezing, even though it was still a real thing. Just because everyone was just pushing back, like everyone just saying that it wasn't real, even though we know that it is. Okay, so the comments here aren't that bad. All right, so let's go back.